share anything? Experience?
So what is this mantra of Devaki Nandana, the mantra that you complete? I forgot the first one.
Krishna Vasudeva.
Krishna Vasudeva. That is very beautiful. I've felt this when you were reciting.
Okay. It's from Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. These all the three ones. Hare Krishna. All three are from Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. And the specific one is you can take a cushion. So it says Krishnaya Vasudevaya, one who is son of Vasudeva, Krishna towards Krishna, Devaki Nandanaya cha, son of Devaki, Nanda Gopa Kumaraya, who is the son of the covered family of Nanda, Govindaya Nandana, Krishna, another name is Govinda, one who gives pleasure to grow, means cows. Go also means senses. So we have senses. Govinda is someone who gives pleasure to senses. There is another version of this. Krishnaya Vasudevaya Haraye Paramatmane Anataha Kleshana Shaya Govindaya Namo Namaha, also in the Bhagavatam. It is Krishnaya Vasudevaya, same words. Haraye Paramatmane, Krishna Paramatma is very soul. Pranataha Kleshana Shaya, one who destroys all the material sufferings. Govindaya. Good. How else? Anybody else want to share? Ashita just walked in, so doesn't have experience to share about the meditation which we just did. We open the door. Someone is walking in.
It's open.
Yeah. Share, you can also pull some cushions maybe for them to sit.
It's okay. We'll drink.
Good. Anything else? Anyone to share? Yeah. Okay. Good. Those who came for the first time, of course you came last week, but first time here for this sitting, how did you feel?
I'm feeling good.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I hope to do more.
Okay. Good. Wow. Great. Let's make a nice circle. How many are there outside? 2. Okay. Hare Krishna. Thanks for coming. The Timanjan Mataji is here. Mahesh is here. Good. Huh? Thank you. Very good. Hare Krishna. So let's Mataji, please come here. You can pull a cushion and then sit on a cushion. Mataji, please come here. Just make a nice circle. Everybody's in a circle. So as I was telling during the meditation, today is a very auspicious day of Pandava Nirjala Ekadashi. So we have sort of a special program. Very honored and grateful that Rati Manjari Mataji is here. She has been singing and practicing this Krishna consciousness since last 40 years, something like that.
20 plus.
Amazing. So let's welcome Rati Manjari Mataji by loudly chanting Hare Krishna mantra. All of us together. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you so much. Thank you. We all are late today, so don't mind. I came late, Maya is late, Ritika is late, Arshita is late, Ajit is late. Yeah, everybody is late, so it's fine. Usually we start 7 o'clock, but yeah, today I think there are no trains or something. So people are late. Yeah. So, What I plan to share today is from Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, because as I said, today is a special day, so we take a special lesson. Usually we study Gita. We are in second chapter, 62nd verse, I think, something like that. Today we'll discuss Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. I don't know what's the time. It's 7:45, something like that. Yeah. So it's the half hour we discuss, and then Mataji will sing. Cooked, right? Amazing. So let's see. Prasadam also afterwards. I think it's a very diet conscious dinner today, right? First time experience for him. He wanted to really cook an elaborate thing, but I told him at least once in a while we should do some austerity. So it's a good opportunity for us to just eat salad and so yeah.
You're
Good.
not joking.
No, I'm not joking. No joking. Really not joking. Because when Bhima did this austere day, so we can all give it a try. Of course, we're not. I'm not fasting food yet anymore, so I tried. There's some point of time. Okay, fine. It's done. I ate fruits. But as Srila Prabhupada teaches, the most important thing we should do on an auspicious day is to hear Śrīmad Bhāgavatam and recite the Krishna mantra, which we do. So Śrīmad Bhāgavatam 5th canto, there are 12 cantos. 5th canto is like a section of Bhagavatam, 12 of them. In the 5th one, there is a section wherein the main speaker of Bhagavatam, who is by name Shukadeva Goswami, he was describing all the lower planetary system. So 5th canto is about the Vedic cosmology, like how exactly the planetary systems are arranged. This is not the modern cosmological understanding. It's a different view of the cosmology. They don't take a vision wherein you're just there and you're just observing and then you're just trying to figure out what it is. But it's from a perspective, you're looking from outside, like how the universe looks like. Right? The modern science is yet to explore that. That's why they call it as the edge of the universe or the observable universe, and that's how they sort of explain. They can't really explain everything is expanded into what. But the Vedic view is looking from the outside, and when you look from the outside, the way things look like is in planar view. So there are 14 planes of existence. The topmost existence is called the plane of Brahma, the creator, the Devata who creates the entire creation. In middle is where we are. It's the whole bunch of like millions of planets where we are part of it, called as Earth planet. Right? But this is a plane. Bhumandala is a plane. It's a plane of existence. Underneath also there are other planes of existence. And these are, some of them are termed as Naraka. In English, a loose translation could be hell, but this is not the hell which is usually understood in Abrahamic religion, that you go to hell and you just stay there forever. Right? No. It's also a plane of existence. People could be there, there for some time, suffering, and then they will be again going back to the cycle of birth and death. So, in the description of this, eventually Shukadeva Goswami was speaking Bhagavatam to whom? Parikshit. I said this. I have to be attentive. So, yeah, he comes to the explaining of these Naraka planets. Naraka, I said, is loosely translated as hell, but is not the hell wherein somebody goes and then stays forever. Okay. And then he describes a few situations, what happens in these planets. Based on one's own karma, one could land in a place where there is, of course, the gross body is left behind. So when someone dies, the gross body is left behind. And the combination of mind, intelligence, and ego, they are carried. Right? Someone dies, the body is here. They don't take the body. Body is, you can see, how many of us have seen dead body? Okay, quite a few of us. So, that's the meaning of dead body, right? The body is there. And the subtle body is taken along with Atma, and subtle body is positioned in some of these Naraka planets, if there is account to suffer. And in some places, it is like the descriptions are quite ghastly. The experience is that of, you're standing and someone is shooting at you, lot of speed, comes and hits and pierces the body, but there is no body as such, but the mind is experiencing it. As such, it's the mind which experiences always, anyways. But the person doesn't die, but the experience of pain is there. Right? Or someone is thrown from a huge mountain, is crushed, or someone is fried in a hot oil, or someone is put in a place where there are like huge snakes, thousands of mouths coming and biting simultaneously. So when Parikshit hears all these things, he's like, my God, like, how should we make sure that nobody goes there, these places? Or if a person is there, he really doesn't want to go to these places, what should this person do? Because it's really a difficult place. And as an answer, Shukadev tells, well, you can do something called as prayashchitta. Prayashchitta means you perform a bad thing, let's say. You atone for it. And then Parikshit says, I don't agree with this. Right? This sort of tradition is there in all religions, right? Like somebody does something and then you go and confess and then make a vow that I'll not do it again, and then it's there in all religions. And Parikshit says, I can't accept this. Because this is really not worth. No matter how many times you confess, no matter how many times you atone, the deep desire to do the same mistake again, that's not addressed. Right? It's just not addressed. It's not so easy to control our lust, anger, greed, envy. These things are so deep rooted in the heart. I can't just make a decision that, from tomorrow morning I'll not get angry anymore. I just decide. I can't do it. You may try. We all make resolutions when New Year comes. We make a lot of resolutions, right? Yeah. In a week or so, we just let it go. It's all gone. All the resolutions are gone. We're so fixed. Yes, New Year, I'll make this resolution and that resolution. And I'll cut down on my sugar. I'll go to gym every day. I'll do meditation every day. I'll come to temple every week. I'll serve in the temple. And a few weeks down the line, not today. I'll do it tomorrow. So we can't really just decide on this, and that applies to all the negativities in the heart. Doesn't matter just one or two. And we are all in the same situation. Right? Everybody has a situation. We all have negativities in the heart. So Parikshit sort of rejects this ideology of this atoning and confessing that I'll not do it again, or doing some positive things just to counteract. That you go and feed some poor people. This sort of atonement process, Parikshit tells, I can't accept this. Why? Because this is like elephant taking a bath. I don't know if you have seen National Geographic. Yeah, it takes for a long time. Elephant is in the water, in a river or a lake, just throwing water on it with its trunk. Long time it takes bath. You may think that this is amazing, but then the moment it's out, you know what it does?
Losses.
Just whole body. It doesn't matter. Like 5 hours of bathing. I'm just making it up. Maybe it does it for half hour, 1 hour, but comes out and it's just all over mud again. So Parikshit says atonement is like this. While atoning, you may think, I'm purifying myself, but then very next few moments, just covered with mud. You may think, why Shukadeva Goswami, being an amazing teacher, is he told about this. He just wanted to make sure that Parikshit is attentive. So he gave a suboptimal result, suboptimal solution, just to check if Parikshit is attentively hearing. So when Parikshit said that, I don't accept this, Shukadeva appreciated him. Good. This was a trick situation. It was a trick answer. You shouldn't accept this because it is not topmost system. Then he says, so what else is there? What is the real solution there? And then Shukadeva Goswami says, the most sublime process in which you recite names of Krishna. This process purifies not just your top level of sins one may accumulate, but the deep-rooted seed. And karma is a cycle. It's not a straight line. It's a cycle. I perform something, and then just because I'm performing that activity, a desire to perform it again is born. It's called a scooter. And eventually it takes the form of a bija, a seed. There is a desire, it becomes a seed form. And from there, it becomes what's called as aprarabdha. It's like mango tree is there, the season is nice, the flowers have come, the mango is not there. Eventually, from these flowers come the fruit. Right? There is mango fruits. That's called as prarabdha karma. Can we repeat? Prarabdha, aprarabdha, kuta, bija. Kuta is the deep desire, bija is the seed form. Then there is aprarabdha, and this prarabdha. That's how karma cycles. It is not that I do one thing, I just get one reaction. I imagine the mango tree again. One seed gives rise to one mango tree. But one mango tree doesn't give one mango fruit. One mango tree gives thousands of mango fruits. Right? Similarly, karma is like that. It's not that I just do one thing, I get one result. And you do get one result for sure. That also spreads eventually. You get a lot of results. So Śrīmad Bhāgavatam tells this process of reciting Krishna's names focused way, not just for the sake of doing it, but in a way that actually is meaningful, is very auspicious. Then he tells, even if someone unknowingly does it, still is beneficial. And to substantiate that fact, he tells a story. And that's what I want to share today. Yeah. There was a person by name Ajāmila. What's the name?
Ajāmila.
This guy was an amazingly spiritually elevated personality. He would be there every day, nicely practicing his daily sadhana. In a very cultured family, helping his parents and his wife, and very nicely cultivated, and his whole focus of life is just doing spirituality. One day when he's in the forest trying to help his father to bring some twigs and herbs for the performance of sacrifices, he happens to see a person who is embracing a lady. And when Ajāmila saw that, his whole mind was just enamored. Wow, so nice. He brought his things home, but all the way back he just kept thinking, wow, it was so nice. Krishna says in Gita that it is just the contemplation, dhyayato vishayan pumsam, sangasteshu pajayate. We discussed this just a few weeks ago. You start with the contemplation on an object. That's how the desire is generated. Baldev Prabhu gave the class, if you remember. He was speaking about this contemplation. What you contemplate matters a lot. The desire to enjoy is born from there. So eventually, this guy is just contemplating. Oh, wow, it was so nice. Just couldn't get his mind away from this thought. Just kept thinking about it, back and forth, again and again and again. became so strong in his heart, actually approached this lady and brought her home. This lady was not an elevated personality. She was a low-class lady. And because she had a lot of desires herself, this guy was not able to fulfill all her demands. He kicked his parents out, kicked his wife out, started robbing, because she had like, bring me gold, bring me this, bring me that. Give me a sophisticated life. Just to make sure that she is happy, he started doing all abominable things. And started producing so many children with her. Children with her. And eventually he became old. And he was about to die. He still had a small boy. Very old, but still has a small child with him. Śrīmad Bhāgavatam is very graphic sometimes. So old, but still having the desire to enjoy, still producing children. A side story which is not there in Bhagavatam is that one day a few sages happened to visit the village where he is living, and they asked just in general, is there any pure spiritual person in this village that we can go and take our residence there for a few days? And the villagers jokingly said, yeah, this Ajāmila is the most purest person. Sometimes it happens. They just told out of like joke. These were sages, mendicants, traveling mendicants. They just keep traveling. Once in a while they go and they just accept food in some places where it is fed. And they happened to come and see the house, and when they saw that, they understood, this is a great place. And the wife was pregnant. And they couldn't accept anything there. But they told the boy, the child is born, name him Narayana. They went away. So this is a side story, it's not there in Bhagavatam. Anyway, the boy's name was Narayana. And Narayana is the name of Krishna. So, usually it is told that youngest child is very pleasing. That's where the most love goes. I am an elder child, so I don't know this. Anybody here, youngest? Share is youngest. Oh, wow! Do you agree with this? That your parents love you most? No? Perhaps you don't know. You should ask your siblings maybe. So, Ajāmila was always calling Narayana, Narayana, come here. Did you eat? Did you drink water? Are you well? So all the time he was calling Narayana. And the moment of death came, he was about to die. And he, as Krishna tells in Gita, 8th chapter, Yam yam vapi smaran bhavan tejati ante kalevaram. Whatever is the bhava, is the consciousness when you're about to die, that's what is the situation in the next life. We discussed this a few weeks ago that someone is about to die, they're thinking of sleeping. Perhaps they will be born as a polar bear. Because you just want to sleep. Polar bear sleeps a lot. So, also the bhava is something at the point of death, the bhava which comes to your mind is that bhava which you have practiced, which you are so attached to. The most attached object or situation in your life is what comes to you at the point of death. So this guy, just about to die, he saw ghastly personalities from this lower planetary system had come to take him. So what happens after death is that the subtle body is separated from the gross body. The body is here, the subtle body is taken. The mind, intelligence, ego and Atma, this package is dragged out. They have a special apparatus, they put it and they drag. We can't do it. I can't separate anyone's gross body with subtle body. We just can't do it. Nobody knows how to do that. These guys, they don't. They know. They have the technology. It's a technology. They can separate. The proof is that you see the dead body. That's the proof. Which doesn't react, doesn't talk, doesn't do anything. It's just there, lifeless. Which means that something has gone out. And these people take it out. And when Ajāmila sees these people, he shouted, Narayana, because that's what he's so attached to now in his life. And as soon as he shouted this, few other personalities appeared there. And these were amazingly charming, super powerful, glowing, having different weapons with them. They had a lotus flower, they had a conch shell, they had a disc, they had a club. These people were super energetic and they told, stop. These people who are about to drag. Imagine now, there is like ghastly looking personalities wanting to drag this person's subtle body from the gross body, and these other people come. Really, the first set of people were really ghastly. These set of people are really extraordinary in their looking, amazingly enchanting. And Ajāmila is just like, he's about to die, but he's not dead yet. Right? He's now seeing, oh my God, like somebody came and somebody else came and these people are not dragging me anymore. And this first set of people, they were the servant of a person called as Yamaraja. Can you repeat? Yamaraja is the person who is the controller of dharma. He is the one who is going to award. Right? Okay, this is the account in let's say Nilambara is done. This is the amount of positive things Nilambara has done in his life, the amount of negative things he has done in his life. Yamaraja is the one who is going to do the calculation, and it's not a plus and minus there. It's not that X amount of positive, Y amount of negative, you do X minus Y. No. You get X amount of happiness in the future lives and Y amount of suffering in the future life. That's how they evolve. And he's the one who is going to decide what's the next thing, where exactly this person has to be going. And he has servants. So this first set of people were servants of Yamaraj. The second set of people were servants of Narayana. They appeared on the scene because Ajāmila shouted, Narayana. And this first set of people, Yamadutas they are called as, they were shocked. First time in their history, someone came and stopped them. They're like, wow, these people are definitely more powerful than us. Can't fight with them. At least let's ask. They asked, why are you stopping us? This guy, they gave the whole list. Everyone's action, they tell, is observed with so many different energies which are there in the creation. They tell the directions, for example, north, the south, the east, and the west. We think this is just the directions, but there are personalities who are in charge of the directions. The earth, the air, the sun, the moon. These are observing what everyone is doing. They are not just dead matter. There are personalities, there are energies, there are devatas who are behind this. And then these servants of Yaman says, the Paramatma, all-pervasive, supreme consciousness, he is the final authority in deciding what everyone is doing, because I can sense only my body. Paramatma can sense everything. That's the meaning of supreme consciousness. Ajit is conscious, you touch him, you feel, right? Do you feel when I touch him? You don't feel it. You can see it, but you don't feel it. Yeah. So the reason is because you're conscious of your body only, right? None of others also feel when I focus it. But Paramatma can sense this. Paramatma senses everything. That is the meaning of consciousness. Consciousness means you're conscious, you sense. Right? Paramatma is the supreme conscious. He senses everything. So Yamadutta say, this guy takes care of all the records. So we have, look at this, his history. In his whole life, he's done only abominable things. He should be suffering. Why are you stopping us? These other personalities, servants of Narayana, they are referred as Vishnu Dutas. Vishnu means his name of Krishna. He's the all-pervasive personality. Vishnu also means all-pervasive. So they tell, sorry, you guys don't know. Of course, yes, he had done a lot of bad things, but the time of death, when you were just about to pull him out, what came out of his mouth is Narayana. And this is good enough. And not just that, his whole, if someone is out, his whole last few years, all that he is doing is calling for this child. Narayana, Narayana, Narayana. Unknowingly he's been calling. And with that, he has nullified all the bad things which he has accumulated. And not just nullified, even the deep desire to perform wrong things, in its core, in its root, that's been destroyed. So he is all pure. You can't touch him. We are going to take care of him. So these servants of Yamaraja couldn't really argue against me. They were just too powerful. So they just left. They couldn't really argue against me. Come in. Hare Krishna. You can please grab a cushion and then sit. So Ajāmila, on the other hand, is still he's about to he wanted to ask some questions to these people, like, who are you? What are you? But then they just left. Ajāmila is just left behind with a lot of questions. My God, what just happened? I was just about to die. Then he understood. Because he heard the discussion between them. He understood there is a potency in reciting these mantras. The potency in reciting the names of Krishna. So I would rather do that than continuing my way of life. So he basically left behind all that which he was doing and started a serious spiritual practice. Eventually, he perfected his life. The reason I wanted to share this today is because we all have been doing this mantra meditation since quite some time now. At least we're coming to an year since we started these programs, and sometimes we get carried away with the tune, let's say sometimes, or with just being absent-minded sometimes and not really giving enough focus on what exactly we are doing. It's a very serious spiritual practice. This is not a practice wherein you're just doing something for the namesake of it, just to become peaceful a little bit. It's good, you can begin with that, but this practice can offer someone the highest form of bliss, which is beyond the conditioning of the nature which we see around. This nature which we see around is conditioned with duality. Every single happiness is associated with some sort of sufferings or frustrating experiences eventually. You can't tell that there is an experience here in this world which is absolute, which is only happiness. If you think of something, you can tell me, this is only happiness. There is no suffering in this activity. There is no pain associated with this activity. People get onto their relationships. In the beginning, this is so amazing. Looks like the whole world is made of flowers. But very soon, it feels not so like that. Right? Eating. Let's take very, very basic. How much can you eat? Very soon you'll be like, oh, I'm done. I can't eat anymore. I really want to, but I can't. You can take off any activity which you think as pleasurable. You can't tell me that it's absolute. If you disagree, you can shout out. No, Nilambara, here there is an activity which is absolute. It's only happiness. There is no suffering here. We're not talking about that. Yeah. We're talking about the so-called happiness. Right? So, in general, what people find pleasure in, it's always dual. Spiritual pleasure is absolute. Right? But because you're conditioned right now, we may or may not be able to experience that absolute pleasure. So we need to put some sort of an endeavor to reach there. On the material scale of things, no matter how much endeavor you put, you can keep running behind. Especially in the modern times, rat race. You keep running highest speed, a rat race, and win the rat race. Problem is, even at the end, you're still a rat. So we can see that, yeah, it's like the mirage on a summer day on the road. You're driving on a dry road. Experience this only if you're driving some sort of dry area, and you see there's water on the road. You move ahead, the water also moves. So there are some animals which live in deserts and they die actually searching for this water. Just think, every time they're running, they think, oh, there's water there. They just run fast. The faster they run, the water also moves. But it's not, there's no water, it's just a refraction of light which is giving a false recognition of water, but there is no water. So happiness in our life is like that. We can think, no, there is real happiness, absolute happiness here. No. Eventually, you will understand, yeah, there's really not much. It was okay. And then you start thinking something else. Somebody is really wanting to get their own car, or their own house, or their own whatever. You keep struggling, keep putting a lot of endeavor, and then eventually you achieve. It's not that you're eternally happy then. Your mind immediately, after a few days, okay, what's next? Right? You buy an iPhone 16 Pro Max, I don't know how they call it anymore. Right? For a few hours, maybe you're really happy. Right after that, okay, next 17. The proof is that companies are producing it every year. That's the proof. They're able to capture the imagination of people and tell that, yes, this is the absolute happiness for now. This is the best iPhone yet. Amazing marketing strategy, right? Best iPhone yet. They're not telling best iPhone forever, because that's going to come next year. Right? You need to understand the strategy here. And then if you start thinking through, that's exactly how whole life is conditioned. Just running behind, hoping to be happy. But the real happiness we'll experience when Pratimanji will sing now. It's real happiness. You can experience this, the real joy. Imagine if you're doing this all the time. Just imagine. You do a little bit of time, already there's happiness. Now, I'm a very analytical, math-oriented mind. this is one thing sort of my analytical mind cannot really process and give me an answer. How is it that people sing Hare Krishna mantra and they become happy? I just can't really understand. But that's okay. I don't need to understand everything. But it's a fact. You chant Hare Krishna mantra, you become happy. How? Just experience it. Some things are beyond logic and reasoning. Of course, there is a lot of theory behind it. How exactly this happens? But you don't need to necessarily understand this. Because experience is a better teacher than the analysis. What did you cook today? Custard. Yeah, but you didn't put custard, right?
No.
Okay, just milk and
Whatever
I have told, only that much. Good. He has made fruit salad. Let's say somebody has not tasted this. None of us have tasted this fruit salad. Let's say I hold a cup of fruit salad and I start explaining. Right? You put mangoes, no? Bananas, grapes,
yes.
milk,
Yes.
condensed milk.
Yes.
Very good.
And saffron.
And saffron. So I start explaining. Oh, this is so good, so tasty. The banana in there, grapes in there, condensed milk in there. I can write a thesis and give it to you. Right? I can describe the entire chemical, physical composition of this whole thing and give it to you. Would you get to know what is this? The simplest way is just take it and drink. Right? You'll experience it right away. So of course there is logic and reasoning how Hare Krishna mantra works in a very technical way. But it's okay if you don't understand that. It's totally fine. You can just say and be happy. It's a better proposal. Right? If you're analytical, keep coming to our sessions. We do go a lot of depth in understanding the spiritual basics of Gita. But then, it's okay if you don't understand much. It took me 20 years to at least understand some things in Gita. So if you think, yeah, Gita is really good, I can't understand much, it's okay, no problem. Just keep coming. We keep singing. And that's also a loop. The more you sing, the more your heart becomes purer, and the more you can be receptive for spiritual knowledge, and the more you understand Gita. The more you come here, the more you sort of do all these things together. So every week you come, your consciousness level is not the same as before. It is already a step higher. The week later, it's a step higher. Right? You may think that you perhaps are not recognizing the kind of small changes which have happened in your lives in the last 1 year. If you start thinking about it, and oh wow, nice, it's good, feels nice. Right? So I'll stop there. I don't know what's the time.
It's okay.
Oh, one question I can take, and then we can hear from the thing which you can say. You always ask questions. If somebody else asks questions. Yes, Ritika. I'll talk to you afterwards. Okay? It's okay, right?
Yeah, of course.
Sure. It's a good thing to ask questions.
Yes.
But I'm only taking one question. Yes.
So we talk about a lot about like immersing ourselves in the knowledge of Gita and also our epic Mahabharata. But like in India, we have we have a lot of TV serials that air our teachings of Gita, Ramayana, and everything. And I know people who watch it day and night, like all their life they've watched it multiple times, multiple takes on it, and still when it comes to the most important decisions of their life, they will, even after watching that epic so many times, they'll still take the side of adharma. So oftentimes I wonder, this is literally the exact situation even in the modern context that the people are facing. You can apply the teachings of Mahabharata in the modern context. People have children, and oftentimes, they get very, very attached to their children, but they also support them in their wrongdoings. So I often wonder, why doesn't this knowledge kind of percolate within people? Why don't they get the wisdom, and why doesn't this association with the God help them see the right direction?
shortest answer is we'll be publishing a video tomorrow. So you need to watch 1.5 hours of it. I addressed the exact same question, but from the perspective of Gita. So that's the shortest answer. The long answer is just watching something or hearing something is not the way to get knowledge. Ask yourself the simplest question. How many of us are football fans here? Football? Soccer? Tennis? Which games do you play? Which
No
sports?
games.
Which games? Cricket?
Life.
You like any game? No sports? Nothing? Shane?
I used to be a cricket fan.
Archita? Nothing?
Kites.
What is that?
Kites.
Oh, kite? Oh, okay, sure.
Table tennis.
Table tennis. Badminton.
I like cycling.
Cycling, okay. Cricket? Cricket?
Netball.
What?
Netball.
Netball, okay.
No games.
Nothing. I like cricket. But take in whichever sport you like, think of the most accomplished person in that field. Most accomplished person. In tennis, Federer, maybe. Football, maybe Messi, and people kill me for that. There's Ronaldo also. I put both of them, it's okay, no problem. In cricket, maybe Virat Kohli, Sachin, doesn't matter. Put in every game, the most accomplished personalities. Did they become like that by watching TV? Like, I'll keep watching TV. Whole day I'll watch somebody playing badminton and I'll be the expert of it. What do you need to do to become a badminton player? Huh? Practice, experience. If you just practice 10 minutes a day, can you become the best badminton player? Can you? No, right? Virat Kohli would be slogging like crazy from morning 5 o'clock till 12 o'clock in the afternoon every single day of his life. No breaks, no holidays, no vacation. He has done it. Right? And that's how people become accomplished. And this is the practice which they really cherish in their hearts. You can hear to the interviews of all these great personalities, and the most important thing they always value in their life is the practice. It's not the match. Because they know if they practice well, they play well for sure. It's not just watching on the screen. What do you learn from it? You need to practice. You need to really get yourself into it and then start doing it. And that's where you fail. Just watching on the screen, you can't learn anything. And that's why social media is an addictive thing. There's so many health coaches who are frustrated in their lives. But then they are influencers. Their own life they can't manage. But they're trying to manage everything else. So that's the tragedy of modern times. So many influencers commit suicide. Yeah. So many of them. Just not able to. Just recently I read a news wherein there was an influencer. She had like a few million followers, something like that. It was just not hitting 10 million or a bigger number. She was so frustrated, she just committed suicide. So, what sort of influencing is that? So, anyway, the point which I'm trying to say is that knowledge is not just what you come across. It's something which is very deep. And then go back to the short answer. And the video will come tomorrow. Okay? So, I end there. Thank you so much. We'll hear from Mati Banjari Mataji now, and please be enthusiastic. She's here for the first time. If you really sing nicely, she'll come back. We have been inviting her since last 1 year now. Please come, and then finally she has come. So let's be enthusiastic, okay? Hare Krishna.
We will.